Welcome to the Pinstripe Chronicles. I am Tess. I am here with Rob, Donald, and back with us from Talking Rivals is Chris. We will be breaking down a historic night. Not one, but two records have been broken in one single game. We're going to break that all down right here. So we had a night to remember. We had Cole getting number 62. Finally, it's about damn time. I don't know why he let us wait so long, but
Judge.
Judge.
You said Cole.
Did I say?
Oh
Cole?
my God!
Oh, him too.
Donald, take it away, Donald. Take it away.
Well, as we mean to continue.
Right.
So it's just, you know what? We're all just so excited about it. You can't even get your thoughts together completely. But it's one. It was one of those. All right, it's about time because I was saying, "Hey Nick, how's it going? Happy belated birthday from all of us."
Good morning.
Good morning, Eddie. How you been? And we every day at work, all I had to hear from everybody since 61 was, "Did he do it yet? Did he do it yet? Did he do it yet?" For an 8-hour shift, that's all I heard. Even when the game wasn't, if the game was over, it wasn't even on yet. So I was finally able to say, yes, he did. And it made me very happy because now they could all just leave me the hell alone. All the Met fans can shut up. He did it. It's our record. Go away.
The work codes don't have a television. Why do they need to keep asking if they did it? It's on national television every time Michael gave it like for all the national audience.
You think you guys are the only ones that like to break my chops? But no, it was really just the emotion of it. It was like you're speechless. You just stood there in awe. Couldn't believe that it actually did happen. We thought it was inevitable, but when you only had 2 games left, you're going, all right, what is going to happen? Are they going to at least give him the at bat to do it? But what was your initial when you first saw it or I heard it? What was your reaction to that? What was your raw reaction?
Relief. That he finally did it. Just pride, I guess, that we've been watching a historic season, seeing a Yankee do it. And just knowing that it's our guy and hopefully our guy for the rest of his career that has the record for the most home runs in a single season for this franchise. So he's been put the team on his back all season long, and to see him finally get this number, finally get that long-awaited time off. He's going to probably sit today and get ready for the playoffs, and it's much deserved because he's played, I think, every day for the past 55 games or something like that. Team's been on his back. It's his team. He's the captain. He deserves this record. He deserves all the recognition. His name is now in the history books. When you look up who is number 1 on the all-time single-season home run record for the New York Yankees, it's Aaron Judge, and it's much deserved. Yep.
Chris, how about you?
Yeah, I think relief was the best way to explain it because it's been going on and every at bat you could tell it was getting more tense and more tense. I thought after he hit 59, I thought that's when he really started to feel it because they came home. Right. And, they were getting the special balls put in, and now that the fans were like being really quiet when his at bats were up. So I think he was starting to feel it after that. So, but I think it's awesome, man. The guy's played, like you said, 55, whatever straight games, kind of quieting all the critics about saying he's injury prone and all that as well. Last 2 years, he's been, he's answered the bell just about every game. So, congratulations to him. Good for his family too, coming to every game. And, and you got to give a quick shout out to the Roger Maris family. They were supporting him the whole time. And I think that was great too. And it's great for baseball, like you were saying earlier, they were cutting in every at bat to see him, at ESPN and MLB Network. So I think it was good for the sport as well. So, but congratulations to Judge, and it's a great relief that it's over. Now we can talk postseason.
Donald,
relief for me too. It's been It's been a while actually. It was a lot of at bats. There was a lot of anxiety, and I'm just relieved that he managed to get it done. I'm obviously slightly anticlimactic because I wanted it to be at home. In all honesty, but he did it, and I love that the Rangers fans were as applauding as the Yankee fans were in Texas there. It was a full house, so everyone kind of realized the gravity of what was going on. It was very cool. And Chris is spot on. And Maris's family were just so classy, the epitome of class throughout. And there was no egos involved. There was no mixed messages. They were all rooting for Aaron Judge. So I think that's a really, really, really great thing. And yeah, it was great for baseball. My God, I mean, we've already seen 2 records drop in one game. That doesn't happen very often, and it just obviously speaks a lot to this organization, that the amount of history that we have, that even in a year like 2022, we're still breaking records from the 1900s or whatever. It's just pretty cool, man. I mean, that 62 home run year. I mean, listen, Babe Ruth held the 60 for a long freaking time, until Maris came along, and then 60 odd years after that, till Aaron Judge came along. This is no small feat. This is a huge, huge moment. This is going to be a moment that's going to be remembered for generations to come. People are going to be looking back going, where were you when Aaron Judge hit 61 and 62? So it's a privilege that we were able to see it live.
When you think about all the power bats we've had since Maris, like you think of Reggie Jackson and all these other dudes from the 70s, Bobby Tats would know that era. And you think about not even really the 90s, but when we got Giambi and Sheffield and A-Rod, when he signed all these power bats left and right, and not one of them, well, A-Rod came close, but none of them got to that number. And here comes Aaron Judge, who we always knew was going to be that power bat. And to see him immediately when he got called up, his first full year to become that superstar that we all thought he could be, and to see him every single year, despite having freak injuries, he's getting the injury-prone tag, like Chris said, and it's so undeserved because his injuries were not like his body's just breaking down. He was getting hit in the wrist. He was running into walls and stuff, trying to play hard. But to see him get it, it just exemplifies everything that we've said, or maybe myself, because I've been saying, and a lot of other people have been saying, he needs to be the captain. This is his team. And to see him now have this record, to have this historic season, he's going to win the MVP. He's going to have this record on his mantle now. And it's going to be capped off, hopefully, with the World Series and a new contract for him. And everything's aligning. And this is coming on a contract year. You couldn't have scripted it better for the guy. And he's going to get paid. He should get paid the way he deserves to get paid. So I can't applaud him enough, but I'm so damn happy that he's a New York Yankee.
No, it's spot on, all of it, and some of the comments here, Eddie. I was saying that I had to hear my friends last month, and they got karma. Yeah, the Met fans were obnoxious throughout this whole thing,
to say the least.
That's the only word I could think of. Obnoxious. It was like, just go away. Then he also adds in, I know Judge needs rest, but why not go for the Triple Crown? Because on DH, the rest, I want him to get that.
I think he's down by 5 points now, right? In batting average?
Yeah.
You're not going to get it now.
No, I think with the rise, it's not, so it's.
So the priority is not the Triple Crown. The priority is October. The priority is playoffs. Yeah. He's played 57 straight games. It's time to give him. It's time to give him a day off. I think he's more than earned it. Plus, the emotional exhaustion for Aaron Judge, because you know that he was feeling it this past week, especially. It's going to be a huge relief for him to have finally gotten that done. So I think it's really important for him to rest mentally and physically.
I think what Rob was saying, pointing out all the players that we've had since Maris hit his 61 and 61, and to show that none of them, except for A-Rod, came even close to 61, it just shows you how difficult it truly is to hit 61. I mean, and outside of the steroid era, nobody hit 61, right? So it just shows you how difficult it truly is to hit this many home runs in a season. I mean, 61 or 62 now in the season is just ridiculously hard. And then you look at the other way, that for the career, you look at Albert Pujols hitting all the home runs he's hit in his career. It just shows you, like, these things we may never see again. We truly may never see. I mean, 700, I don't think anybody playing right now is going to hit 700 home runs. And to hit 62, it just shows you how difficult. I don't know if that's going to happen again. So we're seeing something that, is truly remarkable.
No, I think with that, to add to what you're saying, having him break 62 last night really just capped off a phenomenal season for baseball. Cabrera with his 3,000th hit, Pujols with the 700 home run mark, Cole breaking the strikeout record, Judge breaking the home run record. Just baseball won tremendously when it came to making headlines throughout the whole season. So it's really, I don't think it's going to be hard to cap or even do better next year of what baseball fans got to see throughout the game this year.
Well, think about this. Has been tagged as a pitching season because the offense has been down throughout the league for the most part. And I'm trying to pull up the stat now of who's second in Major League Baseball to Aaron Judge in home runs. And if this ever loads, it's Schwarber with 46. That's almost a 20 home run difference between the first and second place guy. And 46 is a big number when he's close to 50. But Aaron Judge is sitting there at 62. And after that, you got Alonso with 40, and then it's 39, 38. So the power has been there, but it's not been there like we've seen in the past where there's a bunch of guys in the 40s and approaching 50 and all that. This isn't a down year for offense, and Aaron Judge was that anomaly that just continued to hit no matter what. And the fact that he's even in consideration for the Triple Crown, think about that for a second. This is an analytical era where average doesn't matter. Here's a guy who's hitting 62 home runs and is also up until the Twins started to arise because he has an injury. He was going to be in consideration for winning the Triple Crown. Come on now. If this man's not the MVP, then who can be?
Nobody can. If it's not Judge, you can't give it to anybody. All right. Elliot dropped a comment moments ago, and it says, to echo Donald's remark, the home run record has been around for as long as I've been a baseball fan, 40 plus years. It's a reality check. Seeing him reach 62, it really is monumental. It's Donald. You want to respond to Elliot's comment?
100%. Elliot's spot on. I mean, this is, as I say, it was Babe Ruth that held the record for decades and decades and decades, and no one thought that anyone was ever going to beat Babe Ruth's record. Then Maris broke it, and then no one else would have thought that Maris's record was ever going to get broken in the American League. And then Aaron Judge has come along, and Rob is right, man. This is amazing because pitching has been emphasized, and the analytic era where batting average doesn't really matter necessarily, and Aaron Judge is actually focused on doing whatever it takes for the team to win that day. So he isn't even aiming to hit home runs a lot of the time. Most of the time he's doing whatever it takes to win on that day, and that's what's special. You almost wonder, had he just become an all-or-nothing Joey Gallo type, how many home runs he would actually hit. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the time he wasn't actually trying to hit home runs. He just has got the most beautiful swing you could actually ask for. It's like God had gifted him one of the most beautiful swings you could ever ask for. It's so smooth, and it's unslumpable. He's not really been in a slump all year, which is freaking insane. So in a sport which, you fail 70% of the time, Aaron Judge has been the anomaly of that. It's truly incredible. He's truly one of the greatest players that's ever going to live. I'm sure of that. So, and I think this record's going to hold for a long, long time. I think it's going to hold for generations. I'm sure of it.
It's you think of how he was able to compose himself through this whole season. Carrying the team on his back. Those terrible days in the summer where they just couldn't get out of their own way. He was so focused. If he made an out, he thought he let the team down. That is just one of those mentalities you don't see, especially with the amount of money these guys make. It's like, well, I'm making millions of dollars regardless of what I do because of my name. Judge he's the opposite of that. He's like, because of who I am, I want to perform for the team, not just himself.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, and you could see, like, when people say, oh, Ohtani should win MVP, to me, it's like when you hear most valuable player, what's more valuable than a player that has carried his team on his back, like he said, and into the playoffs and into almost 100, it'll be 100, it's 100 games or 99 wins. So, and then you look on the other side, Ohtani's playing on a team that is 20 games below 500. The guy hasn't played or pitched in a big game since May. So how is that a value? I mean, he's great. Don't get me wrong. The guy is an amazing player. And any other season, the guy probably wins MVP, right? Because of what he's doing. But to me, that's not valuable. Yeah. I don't care. You're playing on a team that's 20 games below 500. Judge has been playing and has been carrying his team since the All-Star break, basically. Even before that, he was carrying his team because he's been consistent all year. Mm-hmm. So I think to me, MVP, this award has to go to Judge just on that merit alone. I would even give it to Jose Ramirez before I give it to Ohtani, because Ramirez has carried the Indians, who came out of nowhere to win their division.
Well, at the start of the year, the big argument was if it was going to be Ramirez or Judge. Right. Those were the two that were really carrying their teams. So Ramirez, deserves a better nod than Ohtani for this season.
Yes.
Because we can't just ignore the talent that Ohtani has.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just not his year. Too bad. You don't want to give it to a Yankee? Tough. You have no choice now.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You have no choice. That's true.
That's a great point, because Michael Kay even pointed out, I don't even think we win the American League East.
Oh, no doubt. No way.
Under any circumstances, after the way, even discounting the fact that we were up 15 games, the way that we completely tanked all summer long.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge was the sole person that showed up every single day doing whatever it took to try and keep us in these games and win games. Without him, we lose the 15-game lead. That I'm sure of. So,
and we may not even get a wild card team without him.
Correct. Because we really tanked. Well, some of the worst baseball I've ever seen. We were playing through the summer.
Were we below 500 during the summer?
Oh yeah, and
it was the worst month of August. They were doing things they haven't done since like the 1990s, the early days, or Bobby Tatt started watching baseball. It was just, this was something terrible that we were watching in August.
It was hard. It
was bad baseball. Like if you watched our show, you felt as bad as the team did probably. Like we were just so deflated. We were thinking they're going to collapse, and then who comes to the rescue almost every single night? It's Aaron Judge, whether he's starting a rally or finishing a rally. I mean, think about it. When Stan hit the walk-off grand slam, who got that rally going was Aaron Judge. So they piggyback off him. What he does, the rest of the team follows. He's the MVP. He's the best player on this team. He's one of the best players in baseball, and he's going to probably get the richest contract in baseball this offseason.
Yep. So, and the contract goes without saying. That's just inevitable. But before we get into Cole, let's go into some of these comments from everybody. So, Eddie, you just said what I've been saying. You answered my question but Ohtani couldn't get out of the first inning in the Bronx. He's great, but Judge is the best player in all of baseball. Ohtani, his first time at the stadium, got lit up, and it was awesome. So he gave up 7 runs.
Yep.
You know what I'm getting tired of? The media really needing to take this opportunity to either discredit Aaron Judge's 62 by saying it was only the 7th of all time, or saying, "Oh no, it's Barry Bonds." Well done, Aaron Judge, but this is all Barry Bonds. I mean, pick a side, pick a lane. But like for instance, Jeff Passan. Aaron Judge's 62 home runs is a remarkable achievement. Barry Bonds' 73 home runs is the record. There is nothing else to discuss. Well, I mean, I think there is more to discuss. First of all, I think he's undervaluing that 62 is more than a remarkable achievement. It's freaking incredible. It's actually a record. He could have said more in that tweet to praise Aaron Judge. And then also, like, why even bring Barry Bonds into it? I don't even think Yankee fans are bringing Barry Bonds into it. I personally don't care. I don't care about the 73. I'm more than happy to give it to Barry Bonds. For me, he's a Hall of Famer. No problem.
Well,
but
that's what
beating Roger Maris's record is a record in itself.
Yes.
Just credit it and not talk about Barry Bonds. I don't want to talk about Barry Bonds. I don't want to talk about Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire and their numbers. I'm only focused on Roger Maris. That's just me. I mean, I've never had a problem with Barry Bonds being the home run record because I think it's incredibly hard to get 73 this season, no matter what you're putting in your system. So, that's why I replied to Jeff Passan going, fine, we'll put him in the Hall of Fame then, if that record stands. And that's the point. I mean, you can't just pick a lane going to suit your argument. Oh, well, Aaron Judge hasn't hit 73, so he's not the record holder. Bonds is, but I'm not going to give Bonds the Hall of Fame because he's steroids. Well, what is it that you want? You know what I mean? It's really annoying me because I don't think this would have happened years ago. It would just be Aaron Judge has broken the record in the American League. Congratulations. Well done, Aaron Judge. And then it would be just plaudits about Aaron Judge. But there always has to be another thing.
There's always going to be a narrative.
There always has to be a hot take. There always has to be a narrative. Oh, well, it's not. It's only this. It's not that. But he's always trying to discredit people. Just give him the freaking credit and close the freaking book on it and move on to October playoffs.
And to me, it's like they're hypocrites, right? The writers are hypocrites. Major League Baseball are hypocrites as well because in their record book, Barry Bonds' numbers are there. Sammy Sosa's numbers are there. McGwire, Clemens, whoever, they're all in the record book. So just put them in the Hall of Fame. If you can acknowledge Barry Bonds as the home run record, as the career home run record, the home run king, and the season home run record, put him in the Hall of Fame. The guy, like you said, Donald, I don't care what he put in his system. The guy did amazing things, stuff that we're not going to see ever again. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Put an asterisk or put a little thing on his plaque that says he played during the steroid era.
Exactly.
That's it. And fans know when they go there, it's like, all right, yeah, he played during the steroid era, but you know what? The guy still hit all those home runs. The guy still did things that we're not going to see. When you look at his career records, his career numbers, his baseball reference page, it's all numbers that it's like looking at a video game. It's just ridiculous. Just put him in. Don't, like you said, pick a lane and that's it. If the writers want to put him in, I mean, if they want to say, oh, well, he's the home run record, then put him in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. It's mind-boggling what this is right at this point. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, Judge is the American League record holder. Period. End of story.
Yeah. Just give him the credit and don't try and look for hot takes or Ohtani's the real MVP. But stop it. Just give the guy credit. You know how freaking hard it is to hit 62 home runs. My God.
Yep. Let's get to this next comment. We have a new contributor to the comment section. Thank you, Tom. Those pitches were on steroids also back then. Aaron Judge 99 is the home run leader. Yeah, I think what they did, they really did a good service to Judge that they acknowledged that it was an American League record.
Pete in the Hall of Fame also. Yeah,
absolutely.
Hell yeah. Like 62 is a monumental achievement, just as ever. It must be exactly.
Yep.
Okay.
So, what I wanted to, they want to, use the argument that he, only, he's seventh in the home run leads, but you also had three other players that needed medical assistance to get to that point. So don't try to diminish what Judge did, because at least Judge is doing it the right, he's done it the right way.
Morning, Brood. Good morning, man. You must be a happy man.
Salute. So, if you haven't seen, If you haven't checked out the Yankees Morning Brew, it's a great show to watch. So you can't keep talking about, you can't bring up Judge and keep bringing up all these other guys. Give this guy his due for the season that he's had, and let him stand alone. Stop bringing up Ohtani and Bond and all this other BS. Just let the guy have his moment.
The thing is that bothers me the most is you hear a lot of other fans, like, not even specifically Red Sox fans or Mets fans, but if it was one of their players that were doing this and broke 61, they'd be like, well, this is the new record. But now that it's Aaron Judge doing it, it's a Yankee, it's not someone from their team doing it. They're like, well, it's not Bonds, it's not Sosa did it twice. Or McGuire's done it before. Bonds has done it a few times. Who cares? Because again, the American League record now belongs to Aaron Judge. So I mean, it's still a big number. When you think about 60, you think of Babe Ruth. You think about 61, you think about Roger Maris. Nobody cared that Sosa did it twice, but each time he passed the number, they were like, that's a big number right there. He passed Maris, he passed Ruth. These are huge names, especially Babe Ruth. Maris might not be known around all of baseball like Yankee fans know him, even though he has a 61. Yeah, he should be, but not a lot of people probably know who he is. They know who Babe Ruth is, though. So the fact that he passed Babe Ruth, why is that not celebrated? Why can't we celebrate that? Why can't we be happy that one of our guys just did something historical? But again, if it was, I'll tell you, for the Red Sox fans, if it was Ortiz that was doing it back in the day, they'd be going crazy. And guess what? He popped a few PEDs as well. So it doesn't matter. Let us celebrate. Let us have fun. And you got people complaining, oh, they're cutting into college football. College football stings anyway. So you know what? Go watch some baseball while you're at it. I really don't get why people are so up in arms because they're cutting in. It's just, let us have something to celebrate. Let the fans of baseball have something to cheer about. It's a big number. It's a historical moment, something that we might not ever see again. And you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's over with. You got your wish. He did it. And they can stop cutting into your precious college football game that's probably fixed anyway.
Wow. Whoa.
Good. Bringing the fire on.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, this is the generation of the hot take. Everyone needs to have a hot take. Everyone needs to have an opinion that's going to stand alone and make you get your likes or whatever and trend on Twitter or Insta or whatever freaking app. And they have to do that for whatever reason. So if it's okay, I don't care. He hit 60 home runs. Can he pitch? That's a hot take. Sports Illustrated. Oh, Tanny is a real MVP. Again, it's just all just hot take. Just stop with the hot takes.
Right.
Stop with the freaking hot takes. Just take a step back and realize you're actually part of history. The mere presence of fact you turned your television on or you went to Yankee Stadium and you saw Aaron Judge hit a home run, you are a part of history because you've just watched something that's probably never going to get done again. So I would appreciate that if I were you. Certainly, it was a pleasure of mine to go to the stadium multiple times all summer long, seeing Aaron Judge hit shit out of the park on a daily basis. That was pretty cool. So we were all a part of history, and that's pretty freaking damn cool. So all the content creators who talked about the Yankees every single day are part of history too. We're all part of history. We've all been commentating about a historic year because whatever happens, if the Yankees win a championship or not, there's two histories that have been broken already today. But Aaron Judge is probably the bigger one, but still Gerrit Cole, you can't overlook that. So we've all been a part of something really, really special. So I think we should all be very, very appreciative of that and appreciative of the organization that we all love. My man, Morning Brew. Yep. Let's talk about Gerrit Cole.
Yeah, definitely. We got to talk about Cole, the home run king, the other home run guy.
Fortunately.
Oh, geez. Cole, I'm just going to go back to what I said the other day. It's just, he's the most perplexing pitcher I've ever seen in my life. Because you look at his pitching line, you would have thought that he pitched a game of a lifetime, but he cannot stop giving up the home run ball. He always has to ruin the party.
Yeah. Even on a day where he broke Guidry's record, sorry, Chris, but even on a day where he broke the strikeout record, we're still complaining about Gerrit Cole because
I was actually going to say, let's talk about Cole. It was actually meant to be a positive thing. I wasn't expecting you to complain about the home runs he gave up. You guys just broke up Guidry's record. Come on.
It's remarkable how that happens. But we do want to say goodbye to everybody watching on Northeast Streaming Sports on Roku. Wear your pinstripes for pride. So it's one of these. I can't figure out why. After Judge gives them the lead with his home run, and he's like, all right, well, it's my turn to put a ball over the fence.
He's not. Oh, come on, Tats. That's not fair. He wasn't planning on that. Oh, I'm going to ruin Aaron Judge's freaking moment. Give me a freaking break. Look at his numbers. Look at his game. He gave you 6 innings of 9 strikeouts, 2-run ball, and you're complaining about it.
Yeah.
I don't care. We already won the division. Come on.
The only thing that matters is if he can flip a script when he gets to October and give us what he gave us in 2020, nobody's going to care about what happened on game 160 or 161. So, I mean, did I like that he gave up a home run? No, but he only had 2 earned runs on his scorecard because Donaldson, the Gold Glover, made an error. So he pitched fine. Had he not given up that home run early on, whatever. It wasn't a spectacular year for him in terms of the overall numbers, his ERA. He had too many rough starts for a guy that's given the ace moniker. But yesterday, he broke a record that, again, no one has touched since the 70s with Guidry. Yeah. So let's celebrate that. I mean, I've given Cole a lot of crap this year, and deservedly so. He hasn't been the ace that we needed him to be. But yesterday, I can't fault him for a game that meant nothing. Once Judge hit the home run, the game result did not matter. Who cares if we get 100 wins? We're at 99 right now. I think it's actually a perfect number, considering who's carried us all season. So maybe we need to
watch the video of Ron Guidry calling Gerrit Cole. I'm pretty sure the conversation, considering I watched the video, I'm pretty sure the conversation didn't go, why did you give up that home run, you asshole? It was congratulations on breaking the record.
No,
so let's give him some credit, Chris.
No, listen, I give him credit for the strikeouts, no doubt. But, he's had some rough starts this year, and he has given up a lot of home runs, 33 home runs in 33 games. That's not what you want to see from your ace pitcher. And you know what? And some of the things he said, I think yesterday he came out and said, I don't have to be the number one guy. When someone asked him, should Cortez get the number one start? He was like, well, I don't have to be the number one guy here. Yes, you do have to be the game number one guy. We're paying you $35 million a year. You have to be that guy. I'm sorry. Even if he, and some people were saying, that's being selfish by him saying that. No, the guy is the ace. You think if they ask Justin Verlander, do you think Valdez should get the start? He's had a great year this year. No, I'm the ace. I want the ball game 1. Simple as that. And he should say that. I want the ball game 1. If Boone gives Cortez the game 1 ball, all right, I support him. But I want the game 1 ball. It's as simple as that. And what's great about the postseason is that everything goes back to 0 once the postseason starts. Yeah. So all these home runs that he gave up, all the bad starts he's had that we killed him for, goes all away. It don't matter. It starts, on, Tuesday. Tuesday, everything starts over. So if he gets the game 1 ball, if he gets game 2, that's when his season starts. And that's where we need him to, actually pitch for that money that he's being paid for, the 35 or whatever he's getting paid, $30-something million a year. That's what we need him for. And that's what we paid him for, is to get those big starts in the postseason to put us over the top. And with our bullpen banged up as it is coming into the postseason, we need him, Cortez, and Sevy to come up big for us.
You're right. In the DS, if he goes 8 innings of 1-run ball or shutout ball and the Yankees win the game, this regular season will be forgotten about for the large part.
Oh, absolutely.
But it was a perplexing year because it wasn't even close to his best year as a Yankee, and is certainly a career worst home runs that he's given up. Going right back to the Pirate days of the amount of home runs he gave up, but it still wasn't terrible. 3.50 ERA. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great, but the weird thing about him is he just melts down when somebody makes an error. Right. So on a weekly basis, whenever somebody makes an error, it obviously carries with him, and then he leaves something over the plate. He it's just weird. It's like he's just cruising through games. He looks dominant, and then if someone does something behind him which isn't good, then he kind of loses concentration, and then the home run is given up, and then he has to go and regain that concentration. It's a weird thing that Gerrit Cole needs to figure out going into next year. But still, it's not easy to make 257 strikeouts in a year, or else Roger Clemens would have done it, Andy Pettitte would have done it, El Duque would have done it. You name all the ones that we all love as Yankee fans. CC Sabathia, man, he was a power pitcher for a long, long time. And none of them came close to Gerrit Cole. So he's obviously did something special.
Yeah, you're right. Because you know the way the season went, it was so perplexing because he had all these strikeouts and he had so many games where he had that one bad inning and everything else. And you go back to that Seattle game where he gave up the 5 or 6 runs in the first, and then they couldn't touch him. You're like, can you do that the whole game, please? Because that's what we were paying you to do. And if he does that in the postseason, then everything that happened this year is going to be forgotten. Think about Alex Rodriguez, right? 2009, how many people we hated him. The guy's he's out for a month. He's hurt. He's got the PED surrounding him and all this stuff. And what happened in October of that year? The man put the team on his back. A lot of other guys contributed, of course, don't get me wrong, but the guy put the team on his back in October. We probably don't win that World Series without him. And all was forgiven from Alex Rodriguez by the fan base, right? And so think about it. If Gerrit Cole pitches like an ace this postseason, nobody's going to give a rat's ass about what he did in the regular season. I know I certainly won't. Am I complaining right now that he hasn't been the ace? Absolutely, because we've had a lot of games this year that we had to win, and we needed him to be a stopper, and he didn't deliver. But like Chris said, it all goes back to zero. Once this postseason starts, now his season starts. He needs to be the ace in October. He's been just fine in the regular season. Well, like, do he need to be better? Sure. But if he does it in October, no one's going to care about his 3.5 ERA in the regular season.
No, it's, as frustrating as the home runs are, it all is erased, after today's game. And it'll all go to zero, like Chris said, and you'll have his opportunity to finish out on top. Regardless of how the postseason goes, he cannot be the reason that the Yankees hit a roadblock. He can't be the reason they don't advance in a series. He's got to be the guy that leads them to the next level.
No doubt.
You're right. You're absolutely right. If he does that, then we're going to be fine in the postseason, I think. So I think we'll be able to score runs. And if we need him, if there's anybody out of the staff that needs to give us 7 in a playoff start, it's Gerrit Cole. If you can get 6 from Sevy, from Nestor, potentially Herman or Tyone, one of them's going to have to pitch out of the bullpen because his bullpen's so shaky right now. But he has to be the one that gives you the length. And if he can do that, even if he gives up a couple of solo shots, if you're able to win the game, if you say Gerrit Cole went 7, gave up a run or 2, struck out 7 or 8, but the Yankees won, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. That's more than we can ask for him. If we win the game, that's what we need him to do for us.
Yep. And that's what it is. Everybody that throws shade or frustration, it all just goes away. Yeah, CC's a pain. He's really getting on my nerves. So CC said 2-3 weeks ago, Tony's still MVP. Used to love CC, but says dumb things. Yeah, I don't know why CC had to open his mouth to begin with. I know he's got on the R2C2 podcast, he talks, but yeah, how could you go out knowing you know Judge? How could you not acknowledge the season that he's having?
No, I agree. He
has. He's already changed his stance.
Yeah, he wore a T-shirt or something like that saying, what did it say? What was the T-shirt? What did the T-shirt say that he wore? It was like Judge's the MVP, but Ohtani's the best player or some nonsense. What was it?
Something like that,
yeah. Is it about like somebody trying to stay relevant in today's game and stuff like that? Is he just trying to say something to kind of? I don't think he's doing it for that.
Hot take central. Here we go. It's the generation of the hot take.
Yeah, but it's almost like
everyone needs to make a name for themselves.
I mean, he could say, "Hey, Ohtani's great, and he's probably the best player in baseball because of what he could do and what he does year in and year out now." But Judge is just having an amazing year. And, you got to acknowledge that he is the MVP for the reason we said about being valuable, about carrying the team and bringing this team, carrying the team into the playoffs, because without him, they're maybe a 500 team, maybe a little bit above. And they're not, maybe they're not even a wild card team without him.
Do you know what's amazing? I haven't once thought about Ohtani this year, nor have I thought about Bonds, nor have I thought about any of these,
exactly.
these things. I was really only concerned about Aaron Judge. And I mean, of course, I thought about Roger Maris, but it was only good things I was thinking about Roger Maris. I've just been very much focused on Aaron Judge. And I didn't want to discredit anybody else, because I am not discrediting Ohtani. He's had a fantastic year, phenomenal year.
Not an MVP year.
You know what I mean? And I'm not discrediting Barry Bonds. I don't care what he put in the system. I mean, I still don't care, because if Aaron Hicks blew himself up like a house, he still wouldn't be able to hit 73 home runs in a year. I'll guarantee you that, because Chuck Knobloch took steroids and he couldn't hit more than 9 home runs in a year. So you still need to be pretty damn good to hit a lot of home runs. So I still don't care about steroids. Sorry. That's my hot take. That's the thing. I mean, if you want to make Aaron Judge the record holder, fine. I don't care. If you want to make Barry Bonds the home run record, I don't care. I was just only focused on the good. That's it. I only had the best intentions, the purest of thoughts. I wasn't going to discredit anybody else. And I don't want to do that, because I think everyone else has done their own merit. I think Ohtani, for what he is, as a player that does 2 things at once, is phenomenal at it. But not everyone does it, right? So you also have to look at everybody in their own context. So Aaron Judge is purely a phenomenal outfielder and hitter, right? So I can't then judge him about pitching, because that's not fair.
Right.
So for you, and the best category to look at that is FWAR, right? WAR. That gives you the best idea of what you mean for that team. And Aaron Judge, his WAR is so off the charts that it isn't even in Ohtani's territory. So that's why Aaron Judge is the MVP, but that does not discredit Ohtani. Phenomenal pitcher, phenomenal hitter. He's just not Aaron Judge, but he might be next year. I mean, if Aaron Judge would hit 62 home runs, then yeah, maybe give it to Ohtani. I don't care. But,
and you know what? Right. So and adding to it, like the ones that bring up Ohtani, he pitches. Judge doesn't. Well, Judge plays defense, and not just defense, gold level defense in the outfield.
Yeah.
Ohtani doesn't play defense. He pitches and then he DHs. That's it. So that also is a bad comparison. The guy's amazing what he does. I get it. Ohtani.
Thank you, Tom. Better go get your haircut, man.
Yeah, you need that.
It's just the narrative is just exhausting with this whole thing with Ohtani. That's why I got tired of talking about it.
Yeah.
Elliot, again, just because pitching and hitting is hard doesn't mean Ohtani gets an exception for consideration for an award. It still has to be earned. Ohtani is neither the best hitter or pitcher. It's exactly. He's not.
It discredits Ohtani a little bit. I think he's better than that, but he's still, as I say, I don't want to discredit anybody. I think I just want to focus on Aaron Judge. It's just I know that this is the era of the hot take, and I don't really think that is fair on Aaron Judge, because I think in a different era where not everyone's on Twitter posting whatever you want every 2 seconds, I think that Aaron Judge wouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. He really shouldn't. He shouldn't have to answer questions about MVPs, about Ohtani and all this shit, or who's the rightful record holder. I don't think he thinks about that, because that was he's just carried himself with grace the entire time, and I think people should definitely give him credit for that.
Any other year, you can say Ohtani would be right there in the MVP. He's right there right now. He's second, right? Second or third, however you want to put it. But this is the numbers that Aaron Judge has put up this year. The fact that he's been doing this for an entire season, defensively, offensively, 2 different positions, by the way. He's played Gold Glove level defense. Mm-hmm. And he's also just broken a record that hasn't been touched in the American League since the 1960s. So maybe we need to stop with the whole, Ohtani does. No, it's Aaron Judge's award this year. And next year it might be Ohtani's if Judge doesn't do this again, which he probably won't, because that's asking too much. But right now, there is zero conversation about who the MVP is. It's Aaron Judge, and if he doesn't get it, then we know for a fact that there is some bias from the front office of Major League Baseball against the New York Yankees, because I still think he was robbed of MVP in 2017, and if he gets robbed again this year, then there should be an investigation. But it's not going to happen. He's winning the MVP. It should be a lock-in right now. We're just going to have to wait until, I think, after the World Series they announce it. So it's basically locked in. There's no conversation to be had anymore. It's Judge.
Yeah. No, and that's all it is. It's Judge's year. Like I said, stop trying to lessen what he's done by bringing up other players. That's not it's not fair to be, plain and simple. The guy he gambled on himself. He turned down a contract and bet on himself and robbed the house the way he won. And he did it all, carried the team, Gold Glove defense, broke a home run record, was up until a day or two ago, was one of the guys, he was leading in a Triple Crown. So, I mean, what more does this guy have to do to be able to say, all right, let him stand alone. Let him get acknowledged on his own. Enough of comparing to other players. It's pure bullshit. And I think that's the mic drop to end the show today. But tomorrow we'll be breaking down who we think will make the postseason, the playoff roster, and who will not make the cut. Chris, we really do want to thank you for joining us. For anybody that does not know, where could they find you and Talking Rivals?
You could catch us. You can catch our podcast everywhere you find podcasts. It's called Talking Rivals. We cover Yankees, Red Sox, and all things baseball. You can follow the show at Talking Rivals on Twitter. You can follow myself at CP7NY, and you can follow the co-host Patrick Trotty at Patrick Trotty on Twitter as well. So, and anytime you guys want me back, man, just let me know. I'm always available for you guys.
Yeah,
always have a lot of
anytime
fun.
you want to jump in,
Thank you,
talk, shoot us a message. We'll get you in.
Thanks, man.
But thanks for everybody that was in the comment section. We really do appreciate it. It really keeps us going. But just remember, wear your pinstripes, your pride, and play hard.
Let's go, Judge.